In today's video, we're trying to survive a 100% race around Monaco with full sim damage. Oh, and we're also going to be doing it at nighttime just to make it feel a little extra special. And we'll be doing it all flawlessly with full path tracing enabled on F125 and never skipping a beat performance-wise, all thanks to Omen, who are today's video sponsor. Because my friends, this is the Omen Max 16 and it's a laptop built to break limits. This is the most powerful Omen laptop yet, engineered for serious gamers who demand the best. Powered by a next-gen Intel Core Ultra 9 processor and up to NVIDIA GeForce RTX 50 series GPUs in a laptop. This machine delivers the raw power you need to dominate any game or creative project. With support for up to 64 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, the Omen Max 16 is built for extreme multitasking and smooth gameplay, even under the heaviest workloads, which you're gonna see later in this video. And if those base specs weren't enough for you, well, the Omen Max 16 has some extra special features to boost your experience even more. With next level performance unleashed so easily with no complicated menus, because thanks to the Omen Gaming Hub on this laptop, you can easily put on Unleashed mode, which cranks up your PC up to 250 watts total power, manually overclocking it for max speed and performance with no BIOS needed. You literally open up the Omen Gaming Hub and that's it. So it's perfect if you're trying to push the limits in-game, just like we will be later with full path tracing enabled, which you know you really do need the max performance you can get on PC. On top of that, there's Omen AI, which is smart performance boosting, which auto-optimizes your PC for top gaming performances and simplifies settings. Right now, it supports top games like CS2, Valorant, and more, and there's going to be an ever-evolving list of games it's compatible with. Now, performance aside, the design, the aesthetics of a laptop are very important if you're going to be gaming a lot. And with Light Sync on the Omen Max 16, it's never been easier. Using the Omen Light Studio, you can customize your setup to match your vibe. From the fully RGB keyboard to Omen's first ever RGB light bar. Yep, that's right. The Omen Max 16 literally has underglow, like we've done some car customization in Need for Speed. And with Light Sync, with a click of a button, you can sync up the keyboard and the light bar RGB, so you can actually have a matching array, or if you want to, you can contrast them as well with so many different patterns to choose from. The Omen Max 16 comes with pudding keycaps already included. That means you get that sleek see-through RGB glow and a premium feel. And finally, with the Omen Max 16 having taken care of the performance, taking care of the design, it is now time to take care of easily syncing up peripherals. With Instant Pair, it means less cables and more freedom. You can say goodbye to dongles and messy setups, because now you can connect up to 3 HyperX devices wirelessly all at once. That means fewer cables, more free USB ports, which is very important when you're sim racing and most of the wheels have to plug in at USB, and smooth, lag-free and dongle-free gameplay. The laptop comes with Windows 11 Home, and it is literally that easy to unlock with the facial recognition feature Windows Hello. And if I open up the Xbox app, you've got the ability to get Xbox Game Pass directly on this, meaning it's never been easier to discover your next favorite game. Now, we're all motorsport fans here, so you could play Forza Horizon 5, EA Sports WRC, or even some of the EA F1 games are on here, along with hundreds of other PC games on the Omen Max 16 with Xbox Game Pass. And games are added all the time, so there's always going to be something new to play. So I think that pretty much covers everything there is to do with the Omen Max 16, at least all the things you need to know going into this challenge, because I am going to be doing a 100% race, remember, around Monaco. And you guys know from my previous F125 videos, this game running at nighttime, especially with path tracing, looks insane, but it really does put your PC to the test. And we're going to see today, the Omen Max 16 is going to give us all the FPS in the world, smooth, buttery gameplay the entire time, and that's going to really help me out to try and survive this 100% race. And just before we load into this race, if there was any doubt that this laptop can actually run F125 at Ultra Max with path racing, here you go. Here is the Omen Max 16. It's hooked up to my usual monitor. The game is running at 1440p on Ultra Max. Everything boosted up, and path tracing is enabled, which is only for high fidelity GPUs. And we have a full-on RTX 5090 in this chassis, which is just insane. And with a 100% race around Monaco, like I said, you know, nighttime as well, 100 minutes of racing. So this will be a real litmus test for the Omen Max 16 and its Unleashed mode. We're going to be starting from the back of this grid. It's a 100% race on F125, so you can see the strategy is pretty crazy. There might be quite a few pit stops in this race today. I mean, it's the first time actually on this game I've done a 100% race, let alone around Monaco. So this really is a step into the unknown and a big challenge for me on the channel, because we only usually, you know, deal with 50% races. And then also Monaco at night, it's just such a unique sight. I mean, look at it. It's just bonkers to have already an iconic race like this at nighttime for the whole thing. And like I said, and as you can clearly see, path tracing is on. Those reflections off the night lights is epic around here as we go to 5 red lights. And we are underway for 78 laps of the Monaco GP. It's a good getaway. Of course, we're in the Ferrari, so even from the back, we are going to make a couple of easy positions from the get-go with the performance of the Ferrari versus all the cars around it. And you're about to see, we're going to do this entire race without any hitch, any hiccup, no FPS drops, which means I can just focus on the actual challenge at hand, which is, well, trying to win this race. I want to try and see if we can go from last to first over these 78 laps. And we've got sim damage on. I should actually say we've got more than just sim damage. We've got a realistic damage mod on this. So I need to be super cautious about making moves, and that adds and elevates this challenge even more as we go for a move on Fernando Alonso out the tunnel, lock up on the front right. We give Alonso all the room in the world, but he's crashed into the wall. Virtual safety car is out. Even more than that, the red flag is out, and that is your biggest indicator of the real challenge at hand. I wasn't joking. Realistic damage mod on the game, and it means that if the AI or I do anything silly like that, where it's just a tiny little love tap, you can maybe get away with it on the base F125 game. You just can't now, and there are multiple cars out from that one. But it's a good thing that we have the mandatory 2-stop there at Monaco to kind of, you know, offset any sort of funny business with this red flag. But I start on the mediums because I just wanted to kind of, you know, get a good first stint versus the slower cars. I'm actually going to go onto another set of mediums because I reckon then maybe it's half a chance then we could go to the hards and go to the end, or it gives us, you know, a bit more of an open wiggle room to maybe going on to another quicker tyre later on, as it's a good start now off the 5 red lights for the second time. I was going to say afternoon, but it's tonight in Monaco as we overtake Doohan, Hadjar, Lawson's up next. So we're up to P13, so we're making slow progress. It feels like we've already done quite a bit of racing, but the red flag, of course, has delayed things. We're only on lap 3, but now trying to suss out a move instead. Lawson will actually make a move on Albon, so we're just going to play it patient. Easy does it into the hairpin. Can't really make a move here, so we're just going to patiently wait for these guys to get through. There's a little bit of contact, maybe a little bit of carbon fiber shed for Albon there, and we dive down the inside. Oh, it is close. It is close, but we are living dangerously. But that's because I've got the confidence to chuck it down the inside. Not because we're in the Ferrari, but I've got that confidence of I know exactly where I'm placing my car. There is no frame drop whatsoever. And this Omen Max 16 is literally just, it's playing like my regular desktop PC, which you guys well know. I've mentioned I got a new one at the start of this year, specifically for F125 and going forwards, and it paid dividends of, you know, I can run path tracing, no issue, and it's a big step up graphically. And it's just crazy to me, like genuinely crazy to me, that this laptop that I've got from Omen runs it in the same way. Like, it's ridiculous in such a small form factor. Like, I could take this on holiday and still have the same F125 experience I have at home on my desktop, which is just nuts to me, because that's not been the case for me in, you know, previous situations where I've been away traveling and I've tried to make videos for you guys. So I was really, honestly, very, very impressed with this thing. over the course of 78 laps. And because we've got so many laps, well, we can take our time a little bit and make sure we pick our lines right, because every single move we make, there's the, ever worry about making a little bit of contact, having some damage as we give Gasly enough room to work with as we make our way through into P9. We're now into the points-paying positions, and it's only lap 7, but of course now cars will be getting quicker, and that might be more of a challenge. But someone who's not very quick, Piastri out of the tunnel. We had a little half look, but again, I would usually maybe try the dive bomb there, but knowing there's realistic damage, it's just not a risk I'm willing to take. And it's, this challenge is about endurance as well, doing 78 laps. So it's really about being patient as well and knowing when we can make a move like that at the hairpin. What a move on the outside, on the exit of the hairpin. That is a very unorthodox place to make a pass. Piastri struggling in the dirty air of Antonelli. He's also on the mediums off this red flag restart, so he was trying to make use of the mediums, but he's been stuck behind the Italian in the Mercedes. We make quick work of him. And we've got a lot of clean air now to, well, Leclerc P6, Hulkenberg P5 in the Sauber. How has that happened? As Antonelli is really struggling, and that's why there's an engine failure for Antonelli. The Mercedes smoking away, and he's still climbing the hill, desperately trying to find a place to park up. It's a smoke screen for most of the grid, and Piastri now has been released into free air as Antonelli is just blocking the entire circuit. And oh, there's a crash with the V-carb. Oh, dearie me. Hadjar has fallen victim to the retiring Antonelli, and that is going to be our second red flag of the day here in Monaco. Crazy stuff. And it's all because of Antonelli. He was just desperately trying to find a place to park up, I guess. And I mean, again, if you were questioning whether we actually got realistic damage on, there you go. That just wouldn't have happened on the base F125 game. But now with the damage mod, making things a bit more realistic of, wheels shearing off with proper impact, we've got to be careful this entire race. But we've now just jumped ahead a little bit. We're figuring out our strategy. I'm thinking we go to the hards now. We've avoided the hard tyre this entire time. The lap 14, we're now on the hards, and it looks like it's other people's turn to go on to a set of mediums. So kind of funny that we're kind of swapping situations here. Leclerc is now on the mediums, whereas before I was the one on mediums with Oscar Piastri. Can we try and get by Leclerc? Because the thing is, I tried to nip down the inside, but I was very, very cautious about the wall. But he's stuck behind Hulkenberg. Look at the mini-map. Hulkenberg already is slowing us up, and now I'm nipping at Leclerc's heels. Leclerc is not looking too quick on those mediums, and we need to get rid of him because we need to get past Hulkenberg because there's so much clean air. There's so much performance ahead of Hulkenberg once we get past him. So this is a desperate sort of time, and although I'm wanting to get this done as quick as possible, the entire time I just need to also be careful about where I make the move. Can we go down the inside of Mirabeau? We sling it down. Easy does it. Take him wide, trying to help Leclerc out, but we're up into P5 now as there's a warning for collision there. So actually we got lucky that there was anything more with that. As we now close up to Sonoda. Can we make a move at to back? It's going to be... Oh, my days. Wincing in the cockpit as we make the overtake on the Japanese driver into P4, lap 20. It's game time. We are definitely on for the podium, and I'm hoping we're on for the win. But the thing is, Lando and Verstappen, P2 and 1, they're a lot further ahead. So these guys are all pretty slow, but Lando and Verstappen, maybe in a world of their own, perhaps, as we try and catch up to our former teammates, George Russell driving as Lewis Hamilton, of course, here in the Ferrari. And he's being a bit of a mobile chicane, very slow in this last sector. And we're going to go for the infamous classic La Rascasse dive bomb. It's great to tick that off. In a Monaco race, it's always good to tick off at least one Rascasse overtake as we're up into a podium position on lap 23. But as we've seen, there's plenty to go. And this is, as much as a race of, pace and overtaking people, it's a race of keeping contact concentration, consistency for, you know, over 70 laps, lap after one of the most difficult circuits around, in nighttime let alone. That's kind of, you know, the second half of the challenge is making these overtakes, yeah, but also just keeping concentration. And part of that's also keeping comfortable as well as we drive around. We mentioned the instant pair earlier in the video with the Omen Max 16. Not only was it really quick to pair and gave me, you know, a USB slot easily for the wheel to plug in, but the actual HyperX headset, incredibly comfortable, really, really nice to try out for this race, and meant that I could just focus in on the task at hand the entire time, not worry about getting a bit too hot and bothered with the headset, etc. As we catch up to Verstappen now. Oh, ho, ho. We tried. We had a little attempted look on the inside of Casino Square. Verstappen is probably the toughest cookie to crack when it comes to overtaking, and it seems like ourselves and Verstappen, we're in a world of our own, because I thought Lando was keeping up with us, but he's dropped off a cliff. 12 seconds the gap to the next car. It is the classic rivalry, Hamilton versus Verstappen, it would seem, reborn here in 2025 as we look to the outside, inside the Monaco tunnel. Now, diving down the inside, Verstappen gives us the room to work with, and we're going to try and keep it going side by side for this entire section. This is intense wheel-to-wheel stuff around the streets of Monaco, and we had to back out of that one because Verstappen just did such a good job at defending. That was ridiculously close. So many times my heart was in my mouth there. We were so close to the wall, so close to Verstappen, and that's why he's one of the best. Obviously, very, very hard to overtake, very, very good at defense, and we've had 20 clean laps in a row in this race, and good to see that we kept that going whilst fighting Verstappen. But lap 39, I'm going to bail in for a pit stop to try and undercut Verstappen, and also because my strategy involves one more stop today, whereas I think maybe Verstappen might be going for just, you know, going for one stop himself, whereas I'm making this stop onto mediums and then going again onto another set of soft tyres, maybe at the end of this race. So just wanting to keep options open in terms of, you know, what we're doing, give us enough laps basically to make up another pit stop if we need to do that. Of course, we're out P40. Technically, maybe we could get to the end on this medium tyre. I'm just leaving it all open because you just never know what's going to happen. There might be another red flag. There might be a safety car. Who knows? Who knows? As we make the move on Norris again to repass for second place. And now we've got 19 seconds of clean air. Verstappen's still not in. So this is the time to make use of this big undercut of several laps, like 6-7 laps, to the point where we caught up to Verstappen. He was struggling so much on those mediums that we caught up to him, but he's come in now, and he was probably struggling a lot because he was going a lot longer than he needed to, because he's now going to the end on another set of mediums, whereas I'm catching traffic of my own teammate Leclerc being lapped by us. So in a 100% race, a lot can happen, a lot of time can pass. Lap 50, 28 laps to go, and we're lapping cars now, but I suspect Leclerc kind of got held up in all this midfield traffic, kind of like the real-life Monaco Grand Prix, a lot of them maybe holding each other up, basically. But lap 58, 20 laps to go in this one, and look at my icon for the tyre. It's red. My rear right tyre is 73% worn. The rest of them are fine. What on earth has gone on there? No wonder Verstappen was so slow on his medium tyre stint. I bet he was facing that same sort of tyre wear. That's crazy. Red tyre icon, that usually means you're nearly due for a puncture, potentially. So it's a good thing we planned another pit stop, because I would not have got to the end on that set of mediums. I don't know about Verstappen. I think Verstappen will try it, but that's ridiculous. So we come in for another pit stop then onto a set of soft tyres. And so this is where we'll have a bit of fun. 18 laps of just pounding round on the softs and looking to catch up to Verstappen on lap 61. Obviously, if he's facing the same tyre where we were just facing on that medium, no wonder he's struggling for pace. But it does seem like a 100% race around Monaco. It's just a bit chaotic for the AI with the tyre wear levels on the base game being so high, of course, without any kind of career mode My Team upgrades, as we graze the wall, trying to go around the outside of Verstappen. It's a great overtake. It's a close one, but it's one fitting of this race from last to first, but it's not over yet. The concentration is half the battle of a long race like this at nighttime, and this is a replay of a big mistake I made, and I cannot believe we kept it out the barrier. That is unbelievably close. Look at this offboard. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. How we've kept that out the wall, I don't know. And actually, you know what? I kept that out the wall because I had the max FPS I could want whilst recording this video. And it meant I could react with, you know, no latency issues, no frame issues, and just catch the car at the right moment to keep it going. But like I said, no joke, the concentration really is, in a way here, felt like the bigger part of the challenge for this last bit of the race, as we're now lapping cars that we overtook before. What was that, Russell? What was that? Agent Russell trying to help out Verstappen or something, or just Russell a bit salty that he's getting lapped in this race. The pace here from, I must say, from myself and Verstappen is ridiculous, as look at the top left. Myself and Verstappen are the only cars on the lead lap. That is mental. That is crazy. I think that just shows, though, the tyre wear has been pretty mad for everyone today, and I don't think most people have coped. I think myself and Verstappen have been the only people to manage the tyre wear, but we're limping home now on the last lap with severe front wing damage. Major tyre wear, but myself and Verstappen 7 seconds apart after 78 laps, just showing myself and Verstappen were on a different level today versus everyone else. Everyone else 1 lap down, but just showing also how good Verstappen was in this race to keep up with us. But we have done it as we come through Rasgas and the final corner. We have survived 78 laps of the Monaco Grand Prix at night time with realistic sim damage, and it was all done on the Omen Max 16, and it never skipped a beat. Literally was like I was playing on my regular desktop. No frame drops, full path tracing, ultra max graphics enabled. I'm blown away. Genuinely blown away. Like, I would not comprehend a laptop, any laptop, faring that well, but it just did so well. Coupled with, obviously, you've got the customization of the design of the lights, like we mentioned earlier, the instant pairing as well. Unleash mode was epic on the Omen Max 16 and has thoroughly impressed me. Guys, if you have enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content, and be sure to check out the Omen Max 16 down below in the description.